Hello and welcome to the Faster Freedom Show. My name is Sam.
And I'm Lucas.
And Lucas, today we are talking about something that the audience doesn't know what we're going to talk about, but do you know what we're going to talk about?
No.
Like even a little bit. You have no idea.
No, this is fun. It's like a surprise.
Describe the scene. I'm with my computer up. I got ChatGPT up. So
get your MacBook up. You're doing your thing.
So the podcast is a little bit different right now. We're still kind of trying to find our new footings with, figuring out podcast producer, moved to a different role, and we are trying to figure out what to do because the podcast doesn't do as well as we think it could do. Regardless of all that, I saw our topic last night. You ready for it?
Yeah.
It was a tweet.
What's the
tweet? I
saw? Who said the tweet?
Decade Investors is named.
Okay.
For the next 40 years, you can hold only one asset class. Which are you holding? And it's a poll. So for 40 years, you can hold one asset class. What is it?
What are the options that the poll gives you?
Gold, real estate, Bitcoin, and stocks.
Ooh. I mean, they're all really
good.
No,
it's not like one's a wrong or
yeah.
Not it's a spectrum. But
yeah, I would say for sure. Oh, do we want to get going into it right now?
Yeah, that's what I want to break it down, and I want to tell you the results, which blew my mind. Why I want to talk about it.
Do you want to do results at the end? Maybe.
Oh well, I think the reason we need to we're gonna try to educate people because of the results.
Well, let's just touch on our just quick initial thoughts, go over the results, and then we'll dive in.
Okay, that's why I got chat up because I want to be able to calculate things and things like that. So we're just literally gonna do this on the fly, and I think it'll be fun.
So I would say those are very good investments for very different reasons. What's the first one?
Gold.
So gold, super stable. If you want to, kind of hedge yourself.
Inflation, and
it does real good in like wars.
And it's like 7-8% is what it averages, and it's a hedge against inflation. So it doesn't need to be inflation adjusted, which is very powerful.
Yeah. But as far as my entire portfolio being gold, I don't think I want that. I wouldn't do
it. Is my eye fucked up? Somebody keeps telling me my eye's
fucked
up.
You have like a broken blood vessel in the corner of your eye. It's all red.
But I had the stomach flu this weekend, but
it
wouldn't be
throwing up.
I was throw up a lot,
you
like
definitely
8 or 9 times. But that was 4 days ago.
Hey, it could.
Back of my head's really tender. I think I strained it throwing. So
we are so old.
But I'm all green on the scale.
That a boy.
All right. Okay. But I like your goal thought. Yes, I agree.
Speaking of being old, real quick, at my son's basketball practice last night, we did a scrimmage. So I against another team, and I didn't even I wasn't even out there as much as I normally am, and my back hurts so bad today from being on the sideline. Like, what did I do?
You're old.
What did I do?
We used to be for our age, top 5-10% athletes in the back in 17, 18 years old, and now it's
it hurts. Everything hurts now.
I wouldn't have to stretch, and how inflexible I was, and I would be fine.
Yep. But anyway, okay, so gold, that's my thought. I really like it, especially right now. I think it's a great time to get into gold. Years, I don't want all of my portfolio.
It did get last place. That's one I'll tell you.
Okay.
6%.
What's the next one?
Real estate. And this isn't in order.
I mean, in real estate for me, so many different benefits, right? You got the tax benefits, you got cash flow, the way we do it, we got the appreciation, and it's what our company is set around. That would probably be mine, and I'm 36 years old, so I'm not going away.
You're not 37 yet.
No, I'm not. So I'm not going away anytime soon. And when people talk about real estate,
better not. Our trust and shit.
All those other ones are much more passive than real estate.
100%.
So you have to have some sort of active involvement. Usually, for the most part, in owning real estate, we have that option right now. To run businesses.
You could have somebody else manage your shit for you.
You could.
Some people
absolutely. But there's still some level of owner involvement higher than owning a stock.
Yes,
I would say. But there's other benefits that come with it besides owning a stock. So we are set up for real estate.
Okay,
that's what and we know it. We're experts in it. That's why I would pick real estate.
Okay.
And then next is what?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has the highest ceiling. Correct. For sure. It could be how many years?
What do you mean?
How many years was this for the next how many years? What was the
40.
40. Yeah, Bitcoin coin could be over $1 million a coin in 40 years.
I think
at least.
I'm not an expert. Obviously, everybody's an expert now. I have owned Bitcoin since 2020, so I've owned it for a while, and I'm a little bit more versed than the average person in crypto, but not compared to the crypto bros or whatever. But most people at this point, like there's a 0% chance Bitcoin and crypto goes away. Like that was the thought for a while. Like it go to zero, it won't.
Yeah.
And most people are predicting Bitcoin to be at least at that million within like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Just so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're right, but I'm just saying in 40 years, I
So
would
it could
guess
be
the
2
conservatives
million.
is several million.
Yeah, well, if that's the case and everybody thinks that, then none of those are going to beat that return. And it's very, very liquid. And I think it's going to become more and more practical and usable as people figure out what to do with it too. So I do like that one.
Taxes kind of suck.
Taxes really suck. It's a brokerage account. That's another thing about stocks too, is like, have we got to stocks yet?
Nope, that's next.
No, we'll get to stocks. So highest upside to be is Bitcoin. Lowest floor as well too.
And
Who fucking knows?
And yeah, I know it's not gonna be zero, but the very low floor and like
the least stable.
Maybe
that's the right.
The least stable for sure, but also I like a few of these, and the big difference to me is assuming you have like, let's say you have $100,000 and that's not the game we're gonna play, you can only own 100 in Bitcoin. Like with $100,000, you could own easily 500 in real estate. So there's no leverage.
No leverage with real estate as well.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So it's really only a brokerage account at the moment. I don't think you can own Bitcoin in like a traditional retirement account.
I don't believe.
I don't believe so. So when we get into stocks, there's a lot of ways that you can own pieces of companies in very tax advantage accounts, like a Roth IRA or an IRA.
401k.
But there's also limited amounts that you can buy with those accounts too. You can buy as much Bitcoin as you want right now.
Very inflexible. That Roth or that 401k, you ain't touching that.
But the good news is you pay $0 in taxes, zero, as it grows and when you take it out. Like how unbelievable is that?
Zero into it, right? Obviously, you're paying taxes.
Right. That's when you pay it. Is because you pay it. It's post-tax money that you're putting into it, so you don't pay it again. But I mean, the question here is like, if I were to have 10 million in S&P 500 in a Roth IRA or 10 million in Bitcoin, I would take 10 million in S&P Roth IRA.
Really?
I would. But it's going to be a lot harder to get to that 10 million because it's not going to grow at the point Bitcoin's going to grow, and you're limited on how much you can buy each year.
Yes.
So it's going to take some time.
And you won't be able to have as much, and you're not going to get that. I think Bitcoin's like a 44% return the last however long. So you're not going to get that in.
And stocks, staying on stocks, it's the U.S. economy. So if you bet against the stock market, you're betting against the U.S. economy,
which I get we're in a lot of debt. It's not very smart, though.
Yeah, not very smart. Like if that happens, then you need a lot of other things besides crypto in real estate. You need like fucking water and guns.
Yes. Well, I saw a thing the other day about how many billionaires there are in like the top 10 countries.
Yeah.
And it's like, and how rich they are. And they were like 30, 40 billion in most countries. And I think China had I don't remember, God, I'm going to screw this up, but China had like the second most billionaires, and it was like 200. And the U.S. had and the richest person in China is like 50 billion. And the U.S. has got Musk with 337 billion. It's got like 800 billionaires. Like it's not even, like China's the second biggest economy, but it's not even really close to the U.S. economy, I guess is the point.
So at this current stage of my life, still very active. And with real estate, you can create a business, multiple businesses, thousands of different businesses. It's not just an investment; it's a business. Bitcoin is an investment.
I'm a businessman.
Stocks are an investment. You're buying another business to let them do their thing. But real estate, you can create businesses and invest, which I think that's why I would own it at this stage of my life. That would be my number one pick. With some Bitcoin, because we're young.
You can't diversify. You
because
have to pick
we're young.
one.
But I would if you got a full-time job and you just want to invest, I like Bitcoin for those people, because if you're young, you got a long time to ride those volatility waves. But then you get close to retirement age, say you're 60 or 65 or 70, I want all mine probably in the U.S. economy in stocks with maybe a little bit of gold in there.
You can do that.
Right now for me is real estate, just from all the count.
Want to know the answers?
Got to be Bitcoin. All the Bitcoin bros out there.
43% stocks.
Yeah.
33% Bitcoin. 18% real estate. I mean, I get it, but like real estate, whether the fact is true or not, we did a mashup, by the way, earlier. I was doing a little bit of Jay-Z, and you were doing a little bit of just ripping. Did you hear it?
No. Was it
I was
good?
like, You said I'm a business. I said I'm a businessman.
I mean, I
Let
heard
me
that.
handle my business, damn. And you were just, it was like a perfect match.
Nice.
250 episode. We got to wrap soon.
Yeah.
And then gold 6%. So it just, I guess we can play the game however we want. It says, which one are you holding? So maybe you might be able to invest in others for the short term, but which ones are you going to hold and can't sell? Why would it not be real estate? The tax benefits, the leverage. I mean, and I get not everybody, but 18%. It's like half of the other ones.
I would say why it's not at this particular time is because
Well, and this is just one
it's
person.
had an interesting go. You know, you asked the same question 3 years ago.
2020, yeah.
You know, I bet real estate wins.
Especially in 21 when like crypto started to have its
Yeah.
winter and then real estate was cranking.
But the past year and a half, 2 years, real estate has struggled.
Well, and stock market's been like 24%.
And stock market has been ridiculously roaring for the entire year, and for a long time. And same with Bitcoin recently. So I think it's more recency bias than anything.
Yeah.
But I think gold's going to be very intriguing here for people in the next.
Somebody said they
year.
like silver more. Why do you think that? Just more?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about those.
Who
Honestly.
cares?
I heard this one little blurb on why gold's going to be a good investment over the next year, 2, 3, 4. And I like it.
Continue inflation hedge. And I was talking to my boy Tay, and he said that like owning a gold ETF is like the exact same thing as owning actual gold. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, how do you buy gold? Is it
can buy
out
it.
there in the cyber, or do you own like a chunk of it? And where is it held?
I think there's places you can hold it, or you hold it at your house.
Really? So
Yeah.
that's
You
the
can
way to
like
buy
bars of
gold.
gold. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can own it. Digital. I guess it's not digital version, but you're owning somebody else is holding a gold and you're owning.
Yeah,
it, I
that's
guess.
interesting to me.
Mhm.
I should probably look into that a little bit. That's
You
kinda
should probably
wild.
buy some damn gold with all the money you're making.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
So
how do you
yeah.
want to play this game? Do you want to
Well,
like?
currently, let's talk about how we're diversified real quick. How
Okay.
we actually are. We have a certain net worth, a very healthy net worth,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say, 75 to 80% of it's real estate based, one way or another,
We
right?
just looked at it. Probably you should probably. Know
Yeah, I
pretty
didn't.
close
I didn't break that down, but that's about right.
for both of us.
For both of us, and that other 25% is probably a little different with us. With you're a little heavier in Bitcoin and whole life, and I got a little Bitcoin and probably a little heavier in the stock market. I
Yeah.
would
Oh
say.
yeah. I'm not a ton of stock market. I just the IRA, a couple IRAs for people, and then a few whole lives, and then a decent amount of crypto.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we.
I
That's
need to
how we-
update that two things since I filled that one time. I probably got another 150K in crypto. Seriously.
Crypto's been wild.
Yeah, it's been
that's
wild.
crazy, and you're not going to get that anywhere else.
No,
with real
no
estate.
matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Those
not gonna,
jumps are
and
amazing.
The downs also. Like
downs are
everybody's
wild.
saying, most people are saying it's going to be a bull ride for crypto like this year. There'll be ups and downs and pullbacks, but for the next 9 to 12 months. Then there's going to be another quote unquote winter where Bitcoin's going to go back to 60K, which is
Yeah.
not going to go back to 20K like it did, which is where I got mine, but it's going to go back to like 60 or 70 or something. So we are going to, 150 ton or whatever it will do if it does that even, but it's just the floor keeps getting raised, but it goes way down.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, no, I agree. So I don't have gold. That's the only thing I don't have. I have
Same.
a little bit in stocks, a decent amount of crypto, and then a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're pretty similar. But yeah, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to get some gold.
Yeah, I think especially as you're looking to stabilize and protect and conserve what you've already
You said
built.
protect very properly.
Protect and conserve what you've already built. I think gold is a great point
Can
there.
you say-
But if you're young and like hungry and just like I don't know how much gold you need when you're 30. I don't know.
Probably no.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, especially you can do other things. What is it called when you have like over a certain amount of years you have a loan? What is that called?
Say that again.
Like over a 20.
Amortization.
Damn.
Well, I've said that word wrong 100 times in my
Yeah,
life.
I mean,
so I've
I would say
practiced.
it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
You say it right. or
I've
wrong.
overcomplicated it.
You overcome it though. I feel like you're much better at saying it now.
Well, that's what our life has been about. is-
Overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, resiliency.
Resiliency.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So I mean, this has been a fun conversation. How do you want to break this down? Do you want to keep breaking these down, or do you want to play little games with what returns would look like? This is where I saw that gold usually gets a 7 to 8% return, but it's not adjusted for inflation. Stock market's averaging 10, but it is adjusted for inflation, so 7% is what you kind of put in for that. So
Yeah, well, let's just talk what makes up these returns of each of these streams.
Okay.
Right. Bitcoin and gold, in my eyes, is super simple. It's well, let's crypto, Bitcoin,
Okay.
whatever. Let the value of the coin or the value of a certain amount of gold, an ounce of gold, or however they do it.
Okay.
You know, that is what fluctuates,
Mhm.
right? And it becomes more coveted, I guess, and rare as it becomes less and less of it out there, because it's kind of like Bitcoin gold. There's only a certain amount of it.
But we don't know the amount.
That's
Bitcoin,
true.
we do. Did you see that thing? China found a mountain filled with gold.
Wow.
Like 100. They said estimate $100 billion worth of gold inside this.
That's crazy.
So I don't know if that affects the market.
Yeah. Does it go up or down? Probably down, right?
Well, maybe up. You said you
Yeah.
just read an article saying gold's going to be
Yeah.
good.
Well, I didn't know if they knew about that.
That was like 3-4 days ago. I saw that.
Okay. Yeah, this was before that.
Okay.
But anyway, that's how your
Bitcoin's
return
known,
comes.
22
Like,
million, we know.
you buy something and it goes up in value. That's your only source of return, right? With stocks, you buy a piece of a company and it goes up in value based on the share price of that company. That's one return, but also you get most of the good companies in publicly traded companies in our country also give off some sort of dividend. It's usually not super high, maybe like 2%, 3%, 4, 5, 6 if they're like there's companies that are set up to really not grow in share price but just dividends. And there's companies that are only set up for share price growth and no dividends. And there's some kind of in the middle.
What would you call Meta?
Meta
know
is
about?
Meta has a small dividend.
Okay,
I'll look it up right
Small
now.
dividend, but you know Zuckerberg's quarterly dividend for Meta is like 180 million.
That's unbelievable,
And
isn't it?
and you said it's small. I believe it.
Yeah.
So
Let's see what we got
so
here.
the reason I would obviously choose crypto or real estate. I know everybody's super concerned about what I was going to pick.
Super small.
Just it's for how you can invest in it. Like the reason, like we don't need this for that. I pulled up, we need it. But the reason I would choose real estate, and we can bounce around, is just you can create 1,000 businesses out of it. It does something no other investment does. It goes up in value. It doubles in value 15 years.
Just like Bitcoin, stocks, and gold does.
Yep, it goes up in value. That's
Same way. Supply and demand.
you own a rental and you have a mortgage on it. The tenant pays down the debt. None of those other investment strategies do you borrow money to buy, or would you ever tell anybody to do that?
Yeah.
And then your net worth not only goes up on the top end, the floor goes down. So
Yes.
you're able to double dip.
Yep.
Plus you get those dividends, quote unquote, with cash flow.
Yep.
Plus you get tax savings, and going back to the second one, kind of, but you can leverage the hell out of whatever you want to buy the asset, and everybody needs it. Not everybody needs gold.
Yep.
Not everybody needs Bitcoin. There's a ton of different monetary options. There's no other option to live unless you're gonna live on the street and you're, what do they call them? Unhomed now? You're not supposed to call them homeless people.
I'm not sure.
Unhomed,
Gypsies.
I think. Gypsies, there you go. So though, like the 5 reasons or 4 reasons, whatever, real estate allows you to stack everything like nothing else. And
Yeah.
it's maybe doesn't have the highest rate of appreciation as all of them. Maybe it doesn't pay the most cash flow, quote unquote, dividends as all of them, but all combined together, it's just fucking bulletproof, or not really, but you know what I'm saying. It's pretty damn close.
Yeah. It's the very
Nobody
solid.
called the stock market bulletproof.
Yeah.
Nobody would call. I mean, maybe gold, but then again, you don't have the high end if inflation's.
Gold's actually soft. A bullet would.
Yeah,
penetrate.
gold, very like right. I could like push it really hard; it would kind of dent.
No, it's more like
you
scratch it.
How much gold have you touched?
Touched them?
Like
Not a whole
100%
lot.
pure gold.
A couple.
Have you?
Yeah,
I've never touched.
for sure. My dad has some.
has a bit. Of
course he does.
Where's he keep it?
I think the basement.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
What's his new
You
address?
got to move.
Yeah. Oh, you got to move
You
his
probably
gold.
won't find it.
No, that would be bad.
No.
Speaking of not finding, real quick, did you hear about all these people that like lost all that Bitcoin back in the day? So there's 22 million Bitcoin available. That's it. Most people think it's like 20 million or less actually available because some dude lost 10,000 on his computer and it's in landfill. They couldn't find. Like people lose the Bitcoin all the time through weirdness.
Yeah.
So,
Let me tell you a quick story about Bitcoin. Kayla told me this story. I don't know if he told you or not, but it was, I think, 2014, about 10 years ago. And Bitcoin was around then, right? It was like, I don't know.
it started in eight,
a
nine.
couple $100 a coin. Like
Probably.
two, 3, 400, somewhere in that range it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was less than that at some point, yeah.
Yeah, but in that time frame, it was around there. And there's a really well-known real estate agent in New York
Sarah
City.
Hunt?
Yes. and he had, I think it was like a $12 million penthouse listing type thing. Actually, it wasn't even a penthouse. It was a pretty reasonable apartment, but in a really good part of Manhattan for $12 million. And his sellers received an offer of, I think it was like half. It was like $6 million cash and 50,000 Bitcoin.
And it would have been like 13 million or something total with the valuation.
Oh, it was a little more. It was a little more.
It was a little more than they were asking.
Over. It may have been several million more than they were asking.
Okay.
But they didn't know about Bitcoin. So I did the math on what 50,000 Bitcoin would be worth at, let's say, $95,000 a coin. Samuel, that's $47.5 billion.
Yeah. How is that?
How do they feel?
I don't think it's worse than that, but you know the pizza guy who bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin back in like 2010.
Wow.
It's $1 billion pizza.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, in 2014, I probably wouldn't have taken a house
Probably
off for
maybe
a big,
not, but
big
now
Bitcoin.
it's becoming, some professional athletes are having half their salary paid in that.
So I saw that. Can you transfer Bitcoin? Like if you wanted to give some of your Bitcoin to somebody else?
100%.
Okay.
Just transfer it. That's the whole point of crypto and in general. A majority of the utility is the smart contracts and being able to transfer money without middlemen chopping it up and being able to quickly, seamlessly lower the playing field for everybody to be able to transfer money across the world without banks.
Should we be the first company that pays our team members in Bitcoin?
We probably wouldn't be the first.
You don't think so? Entire company
Well,
payroll of Bitcoin?
Get Danny. Well, give them the option, you mean?
No option.
Well, I mean, good luck, but get Danny on that because Danny wants to take a couple $100,000 out of our account and just go to town on day trading.
I mean, that's kind of what it's for. I mean, not day trading, Danny.
But if we would have, like, where companies have had okay year, we're getting better. All that, if you listen to us, you know we haven't had our best year. But like, if we had taken that $200,000 and put it in what I put it in November, I bought HBAR, XRP at the beginning of November. I've got a 300 and 400% return on that. I put $10,000 into HBAR and it was 53,000 the other day. That'd been kind of nice to go like our 200 nice. To.
I mean, that's the point of InvestLoop. That's why we started it. But they have some kind of slush money.
If we get a little slush money, let them play with it. And
I
take
agree.
10% off the top, or what? 5%.
Maybe prove himself with like 10 or 20 grand first.
But he's going all in. So yeah, I mean, it's the stuff he's done is hit. So
good. I love it.
But that's we do a little bit. I would take 50 grand, play with it, and you get a whatever percent. So.
And the other big thing of real estate is the tax benefits are just unbelievable. Number one, when you sell real estate and recognize a profit, if you've owned it for an extended period of time,
I'm just going to tell them a couple minutes late. Keep going.
An extended period of time, you pay capital gains on that, which is a lot less than you'd pay when you sell a stock in a brokerage account or your Bitcoin. A lot less. Normally, it could be up to 20-30% less of taxes. But when you own real estate, you get to depreciate the value of the real estate on your tax return, which is very ironic because real estate appreciates. But
I was on my phone. Like any income you turn, you can pull it to that.
Correct.
So I just want to make sure people know that.
If you understand how to work it. Yeah.
Well, if you have a person knows what they're doing, you make 150 grand a year at your job, and you own 10 rentals, and you easily depreciate the cash flow, and then there's 40 grand left of depreciation or 30 maybe. That can come off of your income.
So Sam and I, because of the real estate we own, we can take our taxable income down to pretty much zero.
We do.
So that we have a couple of years for sure, not always, but
no, and we have last 2 years, and then if we keep buying, we should. But it's going to start to get different if the Bitcoin keep doing what it's doing. I know you're involved a little bit. Like we make basically the same amount of money within like a couple percent. If I have to sell any of that, it's going to be very bad.
Yeah. But like your mentor says, don't even claim it.
They didn't say don't even claim it, but
they don't even know.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
No, it's like a question on the tax questionnaire these days.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're getting up and up about the
they need
crypto.
To take from of it. And just real quick, my number one Solano I bought a couple years ago. I think you know about this one. I bought 490 coins for $25 and $25.50 a coin. Last I checked, it was $240 a coin. So if I ever sell any of that to do something with, that's not good, right?
Right. Right. I wasn't listening.
I was no,
I was
you're
thinking
fine.
about something else.
No, I do it with you all the time. It's
Yeah.
fine. I was just saying that I was just joking that like we make okay money and we make very similar amount of money, and there's a couple things we do differently. But I don't know if I believe in crypto more or just a little riskier. When we had a little extra change in our pockets, I went a little more aggressively into it, and it could have not paid off. But up to this point, it has. I start to sell that. Like you're gonna have a lot of like deferred write-offs because I'm not gonna want to like write $150,000 check just because of Bitcoin, just because of crypto.
Yeah, that's about what it'd be.
So you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to just maybe like just get some of that for the next few years.
Yeah, or just let it continue to grow, and then
I would
at
like to
some
not
point
touch it.
you can take distributions from it. You know what I mean?
I've said this before, and I like to all over the podcast. By the way, if anybody listened to this, follows me on Instagram, Sam FasterFreedom or Lucas FasterFreedom, DM us and let us know if you like this just all over the wall. This is kind of how our minds work. So sometimes good, sometimes bad. But anyways, I always joked that like my crypto will either be worth 10 million and then I'll like do something with it maybe, or zero. And
Yeah.
I don't, it's not a joke anymore. I think it's going to be, I mean, it will be.
Yeah.
Whether 60 years, 10 years, 5 years, 30 years, it'll be worth 10 million.
For
and then
sure.
What do I do with it at that point? Because it's, I mean,
Have to figure that out. Have to have some real estate tax
Well,
strategies in play.
and governments are buying crypto right now.
Shout out to governments.
Well, across the world, that's the reason.
Shout out to world governments.
Stop it. You're being stupid. And then, like Detroit, you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin.
Oh, that's
You knew
cool.
that, right?
No.
Oh. So that obviously it's not going
Hopefully
anywhere.
I'm stupid.
And then I think the number one asset manager in the world, they own like billions of, so it's not like
Going away.
Yeah.
Smart people are buying it.
that. Yeah.
It's going to become more and more prevalent for sure.
It's going to be, and I think it like, I watched this video. You don't care enough, so I didn't send it to you. It's a good little video, but it's like, this had to happen with the internet, the speed of transactions, with the globalness. There has to be some global thing that it was inevitable that eventually with technology and growth and being able to pay things across border and rates we went from cash and coins to credit cards to like it just was an evolution, and each country's going to have their own coin that's going to be like the dollar. We'll have so it's not going anywhere.
I was thinking Zelle was going to be the thing that took over the world, not Bitcoin.
And apparently whoever Trump just appointed as U.S. Treasury Secretary, which is the number one financial position in the country, super heavy into budgeting, which is a budget hawk they call him, which hopefully that's good for the debt, but pro crypto. So
Good. Love it.
Anywhere.
Love it. One more thing about real estate, the controllability of it. Say you have, a stock or Bitcoin or gold that's not performing well. You don't have many options. So with real estate, you have a piece of real estate that's not performing well. Hey, let's put $10,000 into this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you put $10,000 into gold, $10,000 into crypto, $10,000 in it?
Covering a patch.
You're just covering a patch, and it's not going to improve what you already own. With real estate, it can improve the value of that. Usually, I'll buy a lot. You could put 10 grand into something and create $40,000 worth of value.
Well, let's say, Lucas, in this fictitious situation, that you own a few companies and some have do good, some have had a bad couple of years, and you make some bad real estate investments, and you have $25 million in equity, $30 million in equity, or $25 million in equity in your real estate, and you don't want to sell it. You can refinance it, pull out $1 million, $1.5 million, patch a couple companies, put some reserves, and still own that asset. If somebody were to ever do that, you can't do that with anything else.
Yeah, one of our friends did that.
Yeah, that's for a friend.
Yeah.
That friend did that.
Yep.
But anyways, we did that, and we probably should do an episode on that. But we pulled out not $1 million. What was it? 700,000.
It's about $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
We had 20 million in equity in our rentals. Now we have 19 million because we pulled out $1 million tax free to put in reserves, to pay some extra taxes, and to just kind of keep some companies afloat, because some of our apartment complexes we bought, I've done videos on them, aren't performing how they can yet.
And honestly, our equity didn't change that much because of appreciation and debt pay down. So, we didn't look at it for 6 months, almost a year.
Probably gained $1 million.
And then we looked at it and we're like, oh shit, there's equity here that we can utilize, and we can take that cash and put into crypto.
So
into stocks.
For simple math, I would you tell me, I bet this is close. We probably went the beginning of the year, and let's not talk about the real estate we bought. The real estate we owned. 18 million equity, let's say. And then as of a month ago, we had 20 million in equity,
Yep.
and now we have 19 million.
Exactly.
So we still have $1 million more in equity than
we
had.
didn't even know we had 20 million. That's the thing. We
Yeah.
thought we had 18.
Yeah. But
So we
'cause
really
it
went
grew.
from 18 to 19.
Well, I always say
and put $1 million in our pocket.
I would say 50 and 30 just because it's simple math, but it's
Yeah,
close.
yeah. It's very close
and
to
it's
that.
and it's
Yeah.
so yeah, so that, and it could be 21 down to 20, but the point is,
and you can do that every single year.
and a lot of people do.
We own a $50 million real estate portfolio, and if it appreciates, let's say 4% a year, whether that's a little conservative, a little aggressive, whatever, that's $2 million a year, just on the top end.
And that's what it did this year.
And
probably.
debt pay down is probably not quite that.
Probably
I know
$1
it's
million.
not quite that. Yeah, but maybe $1 million. So you got $3 million that you could take out every single year
and keep your same
tax free
position.
and keep your same $20 million worth of equity every year if you want to do that. Could you live off $3 million a year, Sam?
I would. I couldn't, but you probably could.
That is $240,000 a month. That'd be good.
120 to me, 120 to you.
Yeah, be good.
I guess I could
month.
try it.
Yeah.
I'd be lower my lifestyle.
Yeah, well, God bless. You got to make sacrifices sometimes.
We're kidding. Yes. So yeah, no, it's just, I mean, the answer is real estate. If you're willing to get involved and utilize it to its fullest, if you want to buy something and let it sit, maybe crypto or stocks.
Yeah, and I think
Depending on-
all of these are the right answer.
That's the,
You know
that
what
was
I mean?
that was the cool thing about it
Yeah.
was I just, and it's the guy that I don't follow. Maybe I guess I follow the guy, but I think he's more of a stock investor. So obviously his followers are.
Gotcha.
So I
That
get
makes
it, but I
sense.
just was like, real estate's really 18%
Yeah, what's cool about stocks and even crypto is to a degree, you just got to kind of be around smart people that know it. You don't have to be the expert.
100%.
You know
I
what I
agree.
mean?
That's
So
a
you can
great
just
point.
kind of throw money at it because you believe in it, because other people that know more than you believe in it, and just buy a little bit, buy a lot of it, whatever you want over time. With real estate, you kind of got to be the expert.
That's a good
you know what I
point.
mean? So you gotta make. Oh, what was I gonna go with that? But you know what I mean.
No, that's a great point. I hadn't really thought of. Is I've done very well in crypto, and I'm not a crypto expert at all. I know
Nobody can do that in real estate.
Well, no, I know a little
You'll get
bit
in
more
big
than
trouble.
you, but not very much more.
Yeah.
And I've done very well in it. And it's because I've listened to people that live it, breathe it, and eat it,
Yeah.
not Deanie. But somebody told me that I trusted buy Solano 3 years ago. I forgot I bought Solano, and I bought it $25 a coin, and times 500, whatever that is, it's 10, 12 grand. So like a decent amount of it. Now it's worth 130 grand. Like I wouldn't have done that myself.
Yeah.
So willing to listen to people, won't take a little bit of risk. You trust
Yeah.
them and don't like put 100 grand in something when you have 100 grand in your bank.
On the real estate side, if you there's some activeness involved, and you got to go do it and put in the work.
But you can build a business around it.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of businesses.
Yes, we have. All right, cool. Well, that was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We're going to keep this thing rocking. And I think 2025, a little bit of a reboot of this. It's like the third time that will be the third time, but it's 230 episodes later, 3 reboots. I don't think that's that bad. We're just trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah, we're rocking, dude.
We're having fun. All right, cool. I enjoy it just because this is the most time we spend together a week. So
Yeah.
it's kind of fun. All right, cool. Thanks for listening. Please do us a favor. If you think we're idiots and like, how do these idiots own 50 million in real estate, or you think we're smart, whatever, share this with a friend. That's the only way that this gets discovered by anybody new. So share with a friend. I'd rather have you share with a friend than like and view and rate it, but you can do all of that if you want. But if you're going to do one thing because you don't think we're that cool, share it.
Please.
Share if you care, like if you're a bike.
Woo.
See you on the next one.